Book Whispers. In the quaint town of Ravens Hollow, a place where time seemed to linger in the shadows, stood the Ravens Hollow Public Library. An imposing edifice of dark weathered stone, the library loomed over the cobblestone streets like a sentinel from another era. Arched windows cloaked in thick layers of dust and grime peered into the town like watching eyes. Heavy wooden doors adorned with intricate carvings of mythical beasts creaked ominously when opened. Isabel Carver, the newly appointed librarian, felt a shiver run down her spine as she stepped into the library for the first time. The air inside was thick with the musty scent of old paper and leather. Dim lighting cast long, eerie shadows on the rows upon rows of ancient bookshelves. She had always loved books, finding solace in their pages, but something about this library felt different, unsettling. As Isabel settled into her role, she began to notice strange occurrences. At first, it was just a feeling, a sense of being watched. Mysterious cold drafts would slither out from nowhere. But soon, the whispers began. Faint at first, like distant waves, they grew louder and more persistent with each passing day. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the library was bathed in the ghostly glow of twilight, Isabel found herself drawn to the oldest section of the library. The books here were ancient, their spines cracked, and their pages yellowed with age. She reached out to touch one of them. As her fingers brushed the worn leather cover, she heard it clearly for the first time. A whisper, faint but distinct. "Help us!" Isabel recoiled, her heart pounding in her chest. She glanced around, but the library was empty. Silent except for soft whispers that seemed to emanate from the books themselves. Taking a deep breath, she leaned in closer, listening intently. "Beware. The darkness." The whispers became more frequent, more urgent. Isabel found herself compelled to uncover their source. She spent hours poring over the old books, searching for clues. The stories within were dark and foreboding, filled with tales of lost souls and ancient curses. Days turned into weeks as Isabel's obsession with the whispers grew. They consumed her every thought. One stormy night, as lightning flashed and thunder rumbled outside, Isabel made a startling discovery. Hidden within the pages of a dusty, forgotten volume was a small journal. The cover, bound in leather, was adorned with a strange, arcane symbol. The journal emanated a confusing, sinister energy. She opened it, hands trembling, and began to read. The journal belonged to a previous librarian named Evelyn Blackwood. Her entries were filled with accounts of strange occurrences and ominous whispers, much like the ones Isabel was experiencing. Evelyn wrote of an ancient evil that dwelled within the library, an entity that demanded a sacrifice to keep it at bay. As she continued reading, her blood suddenly ran cold. The final entry was a warning, a desperate plea from Evelyn to whoever might find the journal. "It comes for us, one by one. We are its guardians, bound by an ancient pact. The whispers are the voices of those who came before, sacrificed to contain the darkness. If you are reading this, it is too late. You are next." The realization hit Isabel like a physical blow. The whispers were not just random voices, they were the voices of previous librarians, trapped in a cycle of sacrifice. The library was not just a repository of knowledge, but a prison for an unspeakable horror. In a state of panic, Isabel tried to flee, but the library seemed to come alive. The heavy doors slammed shut with a deafening thud as the whispers grew louder, more insistent, surrounding her, echoing in her mind. "Join us." Desperation clawed at her as she searched for a way out, but the library had other plans. The writhing shadows grew, reaching out for her. The air grew thick with an oppressive darkness. Isabel felt herself being pulled towards the oldest section, the heart of the library. With every step, the whispers grew louder, transforming into anguished wails. Isabel knew she was walking towards her doom, but she was powerless to resist. She reached the ancient bookshelves, and there, in the dim light, she saw it. A dark, pulsating void. A gateway to the abyss. The whispers crescendoed into a deafening roar as Isabel was drawn into the darkness. Her last thought was a silent scream, a plea for mercy that would never be heard. A massive crash of thunder rang out, then all went dark. As the library returned to its eerie silence, the whispers began anew. Softer this time, as if welcoming a new voice to their chorus. The ancient evil had been appeased, for now. The cycle would continue as it always had, hidden within the pages of forgotten books, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to become its guardian. And so, the Raven's Hollow Library stood as a silent sentinel over the town, its dark secrets hidden from the world. Whispering softly to those who dared to listen.